So we are going to review for your first test over the first three sections of your computer-based learning. So let me go over um, some of the things that are required for you to know on the test, and then you can ask any questions at the end. So you need to know what type of electricity, is the difference between AC and DC. We find AC in our electrical wall outlets, et cetera, et cetera. We find DC in our vehicles. You need to know what an ammeter is. Of course, that's to measure current. The name kind of gives it away. We want to measure current. We would have to connect our meter probes in series with the circuit in order to measure current. You need to know that in a series circuit, the individual resistances add up and that our constant in a series circuit is current and that we drop the voltage. The constant in a parallel circuit is voltage, and the current splits between the individual paths. You need to know some terminology. For example, if a wire has continuity, it is said to have no resistance, even though it does have a small amount. So if you have continuity, that means you have almost no resistance. You need to know Kirchhoff's law for a series circuit and Kirchhoff's law for a parallel circuit. In our beginning, we know that in our beginning section, we know that basically electricity is the flow of electrons through a conductor. You also need to know what is represented by an electrical schematic diagram. You need to know the difference between normally open and normally closed set of contacts. Without anybody touching the button or device, if the contacts are not closed, if the contacts are open, then it is a normally open device. So if the contacts are closed and nobody touches it, it is a normally closed device. So we also have to know that the things that in order to have an electrical circuit, you don't necessarily have to have a switch, but you have to have a source of electricity. You must have a load. If you don't have a load, you have a short circuit and a path or a conductor for the current to flow. Another term for voltage, sometimes referred to electrical pressure, is the potential difference between 2 points. However, that doesn't mean that electricity is actually flowing. It just means you have that potential there. So when we have electrons flowing through a wire or between 2 points, that's basically a measure of resistance, because amperage is a measure of the resistance per certain point at a ratio. You need to know all of the units of measurement. I mean, this one should be easy. It's right there on your formula sheet. The units of measurement for power, resistance, and current, and voltage. You need to know that in a series circuit, there is only one path for current to travel, and in a parallel circuit, each branch splits the current while the voltage remains the same. You need to know the difference between a fuse and a circuit breaker. You also need to know about electromagnetism and how that's formed around a wire that we pass current through. We get an electromagnetic field around it. Then for the remainder of the test, you'll have a series circuit and a parallel circuit, just like you had on your homework, and you will fill in the blanks. So what's the For example, what's the constant? If I find IT in a series circuit, what is I1, 2, 3, 4, and 5? It is exactly the same, because in a series circuit, our constant is amperage. In a parallel circuit, our constant is voltage.